little disused harbour at Lather and Wheel. You come down and over that beautiful bridge. And the harbour's don't look much used. Beautiful little cove. Maybe around 2 miles away from Lipster. We're going to have a break somewhere in that direction. Another amazing sort of unnamed bay. Shed. Probably used to stock gear and fish way back when herring fishing was a good form of income. View from the opposite side. Not for the faint-hearted, that descent. This is a castle and the remains of more of the herring industry, old buildings from 1800s. Made an excellent camp spot. That patch of ground there, it's soft and shit sheltered, but it's only about 9:45, so not stopping just yet. Amazing amount of it still standing. This is Lipster Bay and its little harbour. Over there. No, nowhere safe from joyriders. Another view. Clear one of the joyrider special. light, not the lighthouse, I think one of these buildings, probably the one on the left. But what a view. I think the lighthouse is no longer active. This is a bit out of sync. I've come from Malligo on the bus to Wick for a night off in a B&B and so it's nice to eat. It's an amazing sight. Massive wind turbine blades. Incredible. Maybe waiting to be shipped offshore. There's a massive wind farm that I keep seeing offshore. It's beautiful. Nice Italian meal. Very budget friendly. On the way to a heading down the Walligo steps. So this will have been a hive of industry for herring. Herring's been packed, loaded. Apparently that was an ice house there. They used to make barrels. And was that a salt? No, a salt house, I think it was. Yeah, salt house. And boats used to come in here and transport barrels of herring all over the world. And some of the women folk used to have to carry the barrels up these steps. There's a resting point halfway, and then they'd carry them to Wick, according to this chap who was talking to yesterday. Talking to the farmer's brother, and that's the truth of it. Apparently 2 cows, both in calf, and both died, and the bull went on a rampage and ended up getting stuck in a bog and had to be put down. So it cost him thousands of pounds, and just because somebody didn't have the dog on a lead, which is a great shame for all dog walkers. There's a number of these figures placed in prominent positions along this walk from Walligo to Sarcliffe Harbour. I mean, there's another one on a rock there. They're basically on the line of the path. And then, I don't know who's from here or figures look beautiful. This huge lump of rock is called the Stack of Ulster. Huge. Big inlet called Turret Geo, with loads of detritus down there that no one's ever going to get to clean up. Dozens of buoys and fishing nets. Incredible. Get to the head and cross the fence there, and that is up. I think it's called Loch Sarcliffe. Sarcliffe Harbour. Sarcliffe Harbour. Make a good little camp spot. Strata of the rock. It's covered in, must be thousands of guillemots. Not zooming close, especially where all the cliffs are white. With all the, there's loads of them. This is part of the same inlet called Riera Geo. Loads of primroses down there. A little waterfall. And then it goes out to those plateaux we're just looking at with all the guillemots on. Thousands more guillemots, and you can see them on the rocks here, all huddled in. They're all on that rock face as well, right the way along. Hundreds of them. This couple there, like, huddling together like in a V shape, just breast to breast, or head to head. This is Broad got some new friends. Look at these lads and lasses. Come on. Oh! Thousands more guillemots. It's absolutely covered, every ledge. South Stack. This inlet's called Gerston, and that is Dunbar's Stack, broken off the end of it. Of Wick Castle as we're approaching. Another long thin inlet right at the foot of Castle of Old Wick. That's all that remains of that. Not a lot. just following the path into Wick and come across these. These must be all the heads for the giant turbine blades. See, 3 blades to each one. The blades were at the harbour. The little harbour at Staxico, just outside of, heading north of Wick. It's a beautiful little area. This little bay is called Sholl, just before Noss Head Lighthouse. Which is where we're heading, not far away. Noss Head Lighthouse. And so it's a little lock with all seabirds on it. And we're heading to ruins of a little castle just in the middle of the picture. Can't remember its name, but find out in a minute. So there's the castle, and we're heading right around the coastline, opposite side of there. And there's the ending site, right in the middle of the picture, where Duncansby Head. This is Ackergill Shore. This is called Ackergill Tower. I think it's like a private residence. It's undergoing some extensive refurbishment, so it's basically all covered in scaffold. But yeah, amazing. Got the log store in there. Goes along. Some more buildings at the end. We're continuing on through those dunes and on the beach, right the way around to the end in the distance. And this looks like it's a landing stage for the tower. Come back across looking at Moss Head Lighthouse we passed earlier. About 4 kilometres of beach walking because the tide's out to Keis, or Keys, which is right in the distance. Sort of in the bit of the picture there. So off we go. Spectacular dunes. Spectacular expanse of sand. This is Keys, or Keis Harbour. Absolutely stunning in the sunshine. This is what remains of Keis Castle. Now looking back to where we come from, over there, Moss Head Lighthouse. Keis stopped from breaking the clock, waiting 10 minutes for it to open at 1. And then back on the path. Called Mervyn Tower, and it remains an old rock, some form of dwelling. Let's have a look. It's been some sort of a dwelling, and it's surrounded by this trench. Who knows what it was originally like. stunning little beach, a place called Hellberry. Amazing rock formation. Loads of them along this bit of coast. It's like big slabs that someone's laid. This same location, Hellberry. Remnants of old buildings. And a little harbour with what looks like a winch just beyond there for dragging boats up onto the shore. Long disused. And this is called Samuel's Geo. It must have been used as a boat landing point with the steps in. It's like a little mini harbour. Beautiful. This is well Geo. A huge sea cave in it. The remains of another castle called Bucolic Castle. It must have been I don't know, another small castle. Just you can see bits of the ruins extending to the right and out back. What a spot. Selly Geo. The remains of another rock. This little bay is called Bike Yard. Rock is all down here. Wild camp here last night. This is Freswick Bay and the big house over there, Freswick Mains. I don't know if it's occupied. Just camped in these, behind these dunes, just down here. I forgot to fill the tent. We're just nice and quiet and sheltered. It's very cold and rain through the night, but now the sun's up and it's feeling a lot warmer. About 7 miles left to John O'Groats. This is the haven of Skurza, which is a lovely little harbour for a few boats. Means of pulling them up. I had a big ring there. There's like a winch over there. I don't know if it's in use. It's got rope on it. Back over there's where we were camped. I don't know if you can barely see, but right off in the distance is the lighthouse. Lighthouse that we passed the other day. Come all the way around there. Beautiful sunny morning, warming up nicely after a cold night. Heading off into the sun. This is Rushy Geo, and there's a rope there. So some brave soul, don't look like it's been used for a while, but you can see it appearing further down. So to let people go down there. Presumably there's a little harbour, I don't know. You probably can't see them on the video, but on those rocks there's about, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about 9 or 10 seals, all just basking. Just looking out from the seaward end of the last little geo. And there's the next one. And then just down here, are the seals. There's actually 15 of them. It looks like there's some pups there, some small ones. There's another one just pulled itself up out of the water. This is called Salt Skerry. He's gone now, but there was a seal who just popping his head up every now and again out near where the longest point of the rock is, about there. That's a shag. Don't know what to make of me. He's not as reluctant to move. Don't know if he's got a nest there. This is Wife Geo. Spectacular inlet. Another one with a big rock stack in the middle of it. And a cave. See? Cave going right the way through. Just stunning. And you can see a tiny little beach down there. It's inaccessible from up here unless you're a rock climber. This is Wife Geo looking down. The cave is just on the left, and that cut goes out to sea to the left, so it comes in from the sea and does a quick left and a right turn to get to the little bit of beach. It's absolutely spectacular. It's first glimpse of John O'Groats right in the middle of the picture, just approaching stacks of Duncansby. There we have it, the stacks of Duncansby. The large one, and then the next one behind it, and the third one. That's called something door. I'll mention that when I get to it a bit closer. And in the distance, you can see it right, the lighthouse is Duncansby Head, which is where we're heading. And then off to the left, John O'Groats at the end. Some seals on the smaller rock just in the centre of the picture, maybe about 3 or 4 of them. Head Lighthouse. Trig Point, and looking back to the stacks. Direction, Bay of Sannick, I think it's called. Sandy Shell Beach, if you remember, and then John O'Groats picture. And this one's called the Gloop, like a natural arch, and you can just, it's quite deep, I can't see down to the bottom. You can just see the sea through the gap. I'm just going to walk across a bit of sand of the Bay of Sannick. This is the stretch of sand, and a little bit further towards John O'Groats that's, I remember it being full of shells. I think it still is. Stunning. You can see them straight away. Looking across to the, I think that's the island of Stroma, and the Orkneys beyond, and we're just approaching the finish land at John O'Groats.
Why have you been in there?
No, I sent them a message on Facebook.
The end.